Can be a bit of health and safety of it. It's not the most stable of structures, is it? Oh, this is a bit tight here on the turn. So this is a bit tight when you've got it full turn. I'll watch for that.
We won't record that.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to Boothby Park for this Yorkshire derby. Hull City against York City. York City then to kick off as the referee looks at his watch, checks with goalkeeper Matthew Glennon. And we're just waiting for the formalities to begin. So York City starting off in the red shirts, kicking from left to right, and Hull City, of course, in the black and amber outfit. Quickly then, we can run through the Hull City lineup for this afternoon. It is, of course, Matthew Glennon in goal. Right back, Mike Edwards over on that far side. He's joined on the left-hand side by Andy Holt, making a welcome return to the starting 11 this afternoon. Justin Whittle and Nick Mohan are the centre-half pairing this afternoon, as already Julian Johnson having to fight for the ball. That was Graham Potter who just put the ball out over on that far side. Mike Edwards over there to take a throw across the midfield then for Hull City. Laurie Dudfield on the right-hand side, Lee Philpott, Julian Johnson, David Beresford on the left-hand side, Gary Alexander and Rodney Rowe up front. Rowe it was who was the nearest black and amber shirt to that ball. That's good play in the midfield from Chris Brass, and in the end the free kick going the way of York City. Taken quickly now, and this is Darren Edmondson down the byline. That was the missed kick from Andy Holt. Very good it is to see him back in the starting 11 for Hull City as Darren Edmondson takes this throw in for the Minster men. Forward it goes. This is on this right hand side Richard Cooper. Ball goes in and that's put behind for a throw in by Justin Whittle. So a bright start then from York City here. Edmondson it is then with this throw in. Plays the ball short and will look for the ball back, but that's good defending. Well, it was initially. And it will be another throw for Mr. Edmondson. Back it goes down the line and into the middle it goes, and that's Mike Edwards with the clearance. Ball breaking now for Laurie Dudfield. Now Edwards. Down the line it goes. And the danger passes just for a moment as far as Hull City's concerned. Header came in there from Mike Basham. It goes over the top and safely back to Matthew Glennon. Edwards. It's a poor clearance from Mike Edwards. Now Andy Holt with the ball forward. It's headed into the middle. This is Johnson. Johnson with a shot, snapshot, couldn't get behind it. In fact, it was Alexander who got their number 9 for Hull City. But it was the first shot on anger that we've seen so far in this game. And Alan Fettis, the ex-Tiger, will be mightily relieved to be putting this ball down for a goal kick. So Fettis makes the clearance. It's headed out to this right-hand side. He's going to go safely out of touch for an Andy Holt's throw-in. Dudfield, oh, couldn't quite keep that in play, Laurie Dudfield. Mike Edwards was making the run on the overlap and the ball goes out of play in front of the east stand over there on that far side. So Graham Potter takes the throw in, inside it comes. This is Philpott fighting for this one, that's a header inside from Cooper. Now still York winning the ball with Chris Brass for Edmondson. Play the ball over the top. This is a test for Whittle. Whittle setting to it though, and Edmondson comes back for the 1-2. To the far post it goes, and that's too far from Edmondson. And Dudfield will complete the clearance. Perhaps a chance, but that was a good foot in from Nicky Mohan. Still not yet cleared though. Johnson's there, only as far as Potter. Potter to the far post. Cooper was jumping for that one. Hull City yet to get in their stride in these opening moments of this first half. Edmondson looking for a way through. No one in a red shirt was in support. Now Beresford with his first touch down this left-hand side. We've already seen what he can do this season. How fast he is, how quick with those feet. Into the middle it goes, and that's well cleared by John Fielding. City though, still in possession. Philpott doing well under pressure. And across it goes, brilliantly from left to right. Now Dudfield has space to put a good cross in, and it's wasted by Laurie Dudfield over on that far side. Well, disappointing finish to certainly Hull City's best move of the match so far, and what's already looking like quite an open Yorkshire derby we have here. That was Bullock. And the offside flag is raised. Now ball breaks here, and the referee awards a free kick against Johnson. Well, it looks for a second there that Rodney Rowe, who's starting his first game for Hull City this season, made such a big impact when Brian Little brought him here towards the end of last season. Really was an essential part of the Hull City side that established itself in the playoffs. And with the arrival of Laurie Dudfield and Gary Alexander, he's had to be content with the place on the bench up till now. Dudfield, of course, now on the right-hand side. In what is a reshuffled Hull City side this afternoon. That's Basham and Graham Potter completing the clearance for York. And a free kick has been given. Mike Edwards spots the ball, and from midway inside his own half will pump the ball up to the edge of the area. Underneath it is Rodney Rowe. This has fallen to Beresford, and now Andy Holt with a chance perhaps to get the ball across. It's deflected off a York City shirt, still not properly cleared, and it goes behind for a Hull City corner. Beresford makes his way over. Philpott also with him. Let's see what City can create here. Beresford is into the middle, that goes to the far post. It just got a touch, I think, off Nick Richardson as it went over the top. The ball goes out on the far side now for a Hull City throw-in. Laurie Dudfield is the man who's taking responsibility over on that far side, right by a long line of stewards over there near the corner flag. Now Philpott play the ball inside to Andy Holt, 30 yards from goal. Andy Holt just losing out there to Lee Nogan, and will fight back well for this one, and it's chopped down by a challenge at the second time of asking. Proctor just argues with the referee that he hadn't made an infringement, and the referee just telling the York City bench now to calm down. Well, certainly nothing that will endear Terry Dolan to the crowd here, of course. A man who took City down 2 divisions during the 1990s. As this free kick comes in from Andy Holt, it goes and is cleared by York City. Now Nick Mohan with a header back in. That was Rodney Rowe, who was jumping into his marker, who was John Fielding, and York City will win the free kick. So it's going to be Mike Basham to take responsibility for York City. Forward it goes, that's Andy Holt, who gets a header hit in for the Tigers, and it will be out for a York City throw-in on this near side. Going to be taken by Darren Edmondson. He's looking for options around him. Chooses Michael Proctor. Edmondson gets it back. Nogan picks the ball up here, and now this will be Cooper. Cooper into the middle it goes, and straight into the arms of Matthew Glennon for possibly the easiest save he'll make all season. Now Rowe, wonderful touch by Rodney Rowe. Good touch off to Alexander as well. Still Alexander deflected wide. Good play up front that was from Hull City. The front two of Rodney Rowe and Gary Alexander combining well from the clearance from Matthew Glennon. Glorious touch by Rodney Rowe. That set that move up there really. And in the end, the shot just deflecting wide. But it showed just how potent potentially this attacking duo of Rowe and Alexander can be. Now, corner kick is taken quickly. It goes into the middle. York City just about get it clear. And the danger for the Minster men passes, but the ball does though fall at the feet of a Hull City player in the shape of Laurie Dudfield over on that far side. It is just kept in play. Edwards doing his bit there, and the ball eventually dropping for John Fielding. Now this is a ball over the top. Nogan is onto this one. Matthew Glennon getting there first, and Edwards will have to get the ball forward here as well quickly as the ball comes back. And that's into the east stand over on that far side, much to the delight of the fans over there in that stand in front of Mike Edwards. This is Rodney Rowe. He loses out though. Ball comes forward. Now this is Richard Cooper, but he's been caught offside. And we will have a break in play. Nick Mohan with the free kick then to the edge of the area. That was Alexander, who was adjudged to have been pushing. So Alan Fettis will take the free kick. Now Lee Nogan for York City. Plenty of space down this right-hand side. Nogan plays it back to Edmondson. Into the area it goes. That's easy for Matthew Glennon. And Glennon will take his time as the rain starts to come down here in West Hull. Ball straight through, and that's just caught Gary Alexander in an offside position, and there really can't have been much in that at all. Just peeled away from his marker, who was John Fielding, and the linesman over on that far side had his flag raised, but that was good running and a good ball through there for Gary Alexander. And you do feel that there may well be options and chances to be had from those kinds of balls through the middle. Terry Dolan operating a 4-4-2, as is Brian Little, so both managers going for attacking formations, and you do feel that potentially this game has some goals in it. I think all we need is perhaps one to get the ball rolling. In the meantime though, Graham Potter will take a throw in over on that far side. Here is Potter, will get the ball into the middle, and there with a real chance is Michael Proctor, who couldn't control that ball. He holds his head in his hands, and rightly so too. The South Stand fans behind the goal of Matthew Glennon there certainly taking a deep breath, because Michael Proctor completely got away from Justin Whittle there, and certainly the Hull City bench won't be happy with just how much space the York City forwards are having at the moment. Now Alexander gives the ball away. Justin Whittle will shepherd this ball back to Glennon. Glennon's clearance goes high into the Boothby Park sky, but it falls at the feet here of Nick Richardson. Richardson then with the throw-in. It's the challenge from Mike Edwards, giving Graham Potter a throw-in. Now York City playing some football here. This is Lee Bullock with the ball forward, plays a 1-2 with Nogan. Bullock goes again. That's a good strong challenge from Justin Whittle. And Bullock is holding his leg from that challenge. Looks like he's going to be okay. And Glennon will get the ball forward. Now Rowe will get this ball on. This is Alexander. Alexander holding on to the ball, laying it off to Lee Philpott. This is Andy Holt with a throw-in. Now what can Andy Holt do? Into the middle it goes. It's cleared by Mike Basham. Back in by Beresford, and the flag is up over on that far side. This is Mike Edwards inside his own half on the right-hand side in front of the East Stand. That's Lee Philpott with his foot up. And player down for York City is Chris Brass. Looks like he's going to be fine to continue. The fans over there in the East Stand not too sympathetic. And it will be Graham Potter with this free kick. Ooh, ball comes back in, and that's a vital header back from Justin Whittle. Both Lee Nogan and Michael Proctor were both there, and both had a chance of getting onto that. They weren't offside, so it was a vital header back from Justin Whittle. Now on that far side, it's Laurie Dudfield. Dudfield will hit the ball off Graham Potter, and it will be a Hull City throw-in. Into the middle it goes then. Eventually it's cleared, but only as far as Mike Edwards from 25 yards. That's well blocked. But it's only Brayton to Alexander with the ball in the middle. And that is straight back. Claims from the crowd for a back pass. The referee having none of it. I think it was one of those that really the goalkeeper, Alan Fettis, had the better of, because there was no doubt that it was left for the goalkeeper. But the referee judging that it wasn't a deliberate back pass. Now, Holt. To the far post it goes. Easy header for Alan Fettis to deal with. Now, clearance comes in, and there's an offside flag raised. This is Nick Mahon with the free kick. Now, Dudfield looking for space on that far side. Richardson is the York City player there, and that's good play from Dudfield, forcing Nick Richardson to play the ball out of play, and Mike Edwards will make his way forward for the throw-in. Here he is now. Plenty of players in the middle for Hull City. Edwards looking for the nod on. It gets it as well, but it only found Richard Cooper. And in the end, the ball going out for a York City throw-in on that far side. Potter just taking his time, getting the ball back and clearing the ball into the Hull City half. That's Philpott. And this is Andy Holt. Mike Edwards will chest this ball and play the ball forward. It's John Fielding taking no chances there. It was Rodney Rowe in a black and amber shirt who was behind him. And the ball going out of place for a Mike Edwards throw-in on that far side. Midway through the Hull City half. City fans in the East Stand well behind their side. Now, Alexander looking for space. It may well fall for Johnson. It's deflected into the air. And in the end, it falls at the feet of Darren Edmondson. That's a let-off for York City. Well, this may well be worrying. It's Lee Philpott who's down. Looks like he's going to be okay to continue. But it does mean that Hull City will have a free kick in an interesting position. The referee having words with the York City captain, Chris Brass. Now, what can Lee Philpott and Beresford conjure up from here? Philpott with the ball into the middle. It flicked over to the far post, and Hull City have the lead. It's Nick Mahon who's got the goal at the far post. He scuffed it a little bit. He won't care about that, though. Midway through the first half here at Boothby Park, it's now Hull City 1, York City 0. Well, It was a peach of a cross into the middle from Lee Philpott. It deflected as it went across, and Nick Mohan just put out his right boot, and the rest just sent it into the bottom left-hand corner of the net past Alan Fettis. Hull City then have the lead midway through the first half. And in the meantime, we will have a booking here for Gary Alexander. Quite unnecessary, really. City just having taken the lead, putting York City under pressure now. How can the Minster men respond? Now, this is Nogan. Nogan may well get this. That's good defending from Mohan, the goal scorer, and that's over the top from Michael Proctor. Well, the first goal in this game was always going to be vitally important in such an open match in a Yorkshire derby. It's Hull City who's got it. Quite an untidy goal it was too, but Hull City won't care. Now, can Hull City build on this and get a good confidence-boosting win that will see them climb right up there into the top echelons of Division 3? Now, this is Richard Cooper on the right-hand side for York. Into the middle it goes. Nogan is after this one. Matthew Glennon, confident, assured, taking the ball before the York City striker. Now, Whittle with the ball forward. Beresford looking for this one, just putting a head in, finding Chris Brass for York City. And Michael Proctor now on this right-hand side. Has space ahead of him. Hull City having some defending to do here. Cross comes in the end from Edmondson, and the header out was by Whittle. Edmondson makes his way forward as the substitutes warm up to take this throw in. Looking for options around him. In the end, it's a poor throw in from York City, and the chance goes bigging, although Hull City eventually getting the ball away rather untidily in the end. And, well, in the end, after a series of mix-ups, Hull City getting the ball away, and how that reached Rodney Rowe is anyone's guess. In the meantime, David Beresford on this left-hand side will try and get the ball into the middle. This is Lee Philpott following up here. Mike Edwards will get this ball now 40-odd yards from goal, points and plays the ball into space. That's a poor ball from Mike Edwards, straight to Darren Edmondson. In any case, Beresford was offside, but this is good play from Philpott now. Philpott into the middle, Rowe is there, and that goes behind off John Fielding for a Hull City corner kick. Hull City looking good for the 1-0 lead and looking for that second goal. Beresford it is who's gone over to take this corner kick. Philpott's lurking and the ball comes close. Now to the back post it goes. Ball still not cleared. Rodney Rowe may well get a touch on here. Couldn't quite lay it off to Laurie Dudfield, and Hull City getting the ball away. Now Mike Edwards. Tidy stuff as York City seem to pack out that midfield area there. That's why it was so vital that Hull City had that lead comparatively early on in this game. Really meaning that York City are going to have to come out and try and do something. This is Andy Holt looking for Rodney Rowe. Rowe with a lovely flick inside to Alexander. Alexander couldn't quite get it out to Dudfield, and Lee Bullock brings the ball out for York. That's a poor ball from Nick Richardson. City again on the attack now, down that right-hand side. Will Alexander be able to keep this one in? He will do, and will win the throw-in well. Mike Edwards making his forward. Plenty of Hull City bodies in the box. Johnson forward, so too Rodney Rowe, Gary Alexander, David Beresford. Edwards looking for the nod on. In the end, it does fall on the edge of the area to Lee Philpott, and Andy Holt will make his way forward. Will get the chance to put the ball in, and that's going to go. Well, I was going to say it was going to go over the top, but Alan Fettis not taking any chances and putting the ball behind for a Hull City corner kick. Hull City well in command in these stages as we approach the end of the first half. Looking for that second goal. On the edge of the area we can see Nicky Mohan, Julian Johnson and Lee Philpott. Over on that far side it's Beresford. And Philpott it is who brings it in. It's a header on at the back post. Nicky Mohan was almost there looking for a second. Dudfield with the ball, trying to get the ball back in. Dudfield will have another chance to do so on this left-hand side. Dudfield with the ball across, and it's clearance that comes in for Hull City, meaning the Tigers will have a throw-in down this left-hand side. Andy Holt then will take it. Around about 10 yards from the corner flag. Again, plenty of bodies in. Good long throw as well. To the edge of the area it goes. And that's Philpott who wins possession back for the Tigers. That's good work though in the midfield from Lee Bullock. And Philpott just tripping up the York City centre midfield player. And the free kick is taken quickly. Mike Edwards will take this throw in for the Tigers on that far side. This is Dudfield. Across to Beresford now. Beresford's going to have a run at this York City defence. His players again in the shape of Dudfield giving him support now down the right hand side. Good ball across from Dudfield and cleared by John Fielding. Pressure builds on as far as York are concerned. City then looking for that 2-goal cushion. To the edge of the area it comes then. Philpott juggling with the ball, and now Dudfield. Ball breaks now for Rodney Rowe, still in an attacking position for Hull City. Rowe looking for support, and the end having to go backwards to Mike Edwards. Edwards now under pressure somewhat, and City taking the safe option back. Now, Mohan, the goal scorer, bringing the ball forward. It's deflected forward for Rodney Rowe. Rodney Rowe can't quite hold on to that one, but he does well to fight and win the ball back for Hull City. And that will be a free kick awarded against the Tigers, which seems somewhat surprising. Perhaps it was Rodney Rowe who made the foul, and initially the referee allowed play to continue, but it is Rodney Rowe who still is down following that challenge. Well, this is perhaps a concern here for Brian Little. There is the option, of course, of Theodore Whitmore on the bench, back from World Cup duty with Jamaica. But certainly Rodney Rowe would see this as a major blow if he were to receive a knock on his return to the side. And it looks like he may well be okay. But certainly a concern here for Rodney Rowe. Now this is Mike Basham who's standing over the free kick as Rodney Rowe leaves the field. Basham then takes the free kick. Forward it goes, straight through as well. Cleared by Dudfield on that far side. Now Beresford. And the referee having words with Mike Proctor after that free kick. Nick Mohan pointing it out to the referee. And Andy Holt will take the resulting free kick. Forward it goes, Rodney Rowe back on the field, looking like he's going to be fine to continue jumping for that one. The ball coming out wide now to Richard Cooper. Now Darren Edmondson. Forward, that's good play by Justin Whittle as Lee Nogan fell under his challenge. This is Darren Edmondson for York. Well, Lee Nogan still receiving treatment following that challenge. He just seemed to fall just because of the sheer physical presence, really, of Justin Whittle. Certainly not a free kick, even though Darren Edmondson seems to be protesting that with the referee. Well, the referee not allowing Lee Nogan to go off the field here, and this is going to be a lengthy stoppage as we approach the end of this first half. Hull City fans getting impatient. Of course, the most important thing is they have that 1-0 lead. Now, Edmondson will eventually get the game restarted. Hull City complete the formality of the clearance. That's a poor back pass from Mike Basham, putting John Fielding under pressure, and now Alan Fettis, who will get this ball away. Logan with a head on, and this is Proctor. That's easy for Andy Holt to deal with, very, very comfortable from Holt, making his return to the side. Poor ball forward though from Andy Holt, and York City will have chance to rebuild. Philpott with the ball forward to Gary Alexander. Now Dudfield is really under pressure on that far side and does well to get the ball away. And now the ball deflecting, and Alan Fettis will get there first for York City. Very, very nearly fell for Julian Johnson, that ball. Alan Fettis, the former Hull City keeper, was first to it as the ball comes forward again for York. This is Philpott getting the ball away, only as far as Graham Potter though. Potter has Nick Richardson to his left. He's going to take the ball inside by himself, and now Lee Bullock from 25 yards. Wonderful shot from Lee Bullock, and that's a good save diving to his left from Matthew Glennon. Certainly the best that it's got for York City. And as we suspected, Rodney Rowe isn't going to be fit enough to continue. And Theodore Whitmore, fresh from World Cup duty, makes his return to the side. In the meantime, though, Hull City will have some defending to do. Ball comes in, and that's well away there from Julian Johnson, but finds Nogan now. Some space now down this right-hand side is Edmondson. To the far post it goes, and that's well behind and wasted by York City. Well, it is a like-for-like substitution, the removal of Rodney Rowe and the introduction of Theodore Whitmore. But you can't help feeling sorry for Rodney Rowe, having waited patiently for his chance on the bench for the 4 previous games this season, and then to be injured midway through the first half when he was doing well, making an impact in the game. He must be feeling very, very disappointed. I'm sure his chance will come, though, at a later date this season. This is Darren Edmondson. Getting the ball away. Nogan in space here. A snapshot which is wasted. No one went there with Lee Nogan. And that was a real chance for York City, as good as it's got. And there's been a couple of warning shots as far as Hull City is concerned here. They do only have that 1-0 advantage. And they've had a couple of chances now, York City. First of all, the shot by Lee Bullock, and which was wonderfully saved by Matthew Glennon. And then that chance there for Lee Nogan. Now this is a good ball for Beresford on this left-hand side. That was Whitmore's first touch of the ball, I think. Over there looking for Dudfield now. Dudfield will have a chance to get this ball ahead of Nick Richardson. Dudfield picks the ball up and goes for the byline. Will play the ball off Nick Richardson and will win a corner kick for Hull City over on that far side. Edwards will leave it for Philpott. As the linesman inspects that it's taken from the correct position, and Beresford goes over to have a look. Philpott raises his hand and will get the ball into the middle. Nick Mohan's underneath this one, but Fetis does well on the edge of his 6-yard box. Now, good touch by Nogan. He'll turn and face, and the ball will come through here. Plenty of runners, plenty of men forward for York City. Out wide it comes now to Richard Cooper. Cooper inside for Edmondson. Edmondson with a poor ball into the middle. But the clearing header only finds a red shirt. Graham Potter now. Chance to get the ball into the middle. To the edge of the area it goes. It's still not cleared. Cooper's there. Now, as the header comes in from Chris Bass, that's easy for Matthew Glennon to deal with. Now Mike Edwards. That's Alexander who's offside. Edmondson, that's Nogan with a head on. And Justin Whittle will get a challenge in. That's Richard Cooper who does well to keep the ball in play now. Inside it goes. York City's best spell of the match, without a doubt. As the ball comes forward again from Potter, and it's well cleared in the end. And now Beresford inside for Philpott. This is Whitmore. He leaves it. Whitmore takes the ball again. Whitmore, that's good challenge from Lee Bullock. York City again can build now. Really good Yorkshire derby, fast and furious stuff here at Boothroyd Park now. Cooper with the ball into the middle, and that's Nick Mohan, the goal scorer, with a poor clearance, giving York City a corner kick. Well, as I was saying, certainly York City's best spell of the match, and City just allowing York to keep on the pressure. This is Graham Potter, who's made his way over from left back to take this corner kick. Into the middle it goes. Glennon was nowhere with that one. In the end, it was a Tigers head who got to it first, and that's away by Gary Alexander for Theodore Whitmore. Whitmore can't find a black and amber shirt. It's Fielding who picks the ball up, plays it back to Richard Cooper. Cooper now will happy to hold on to the ball until he finds space. And as that goes forward, Glennon just running out and not taking any chances. Again, Hull City allowing York to put on the pressure. Darren Edmondson down the byline. This is Nogan inside again for Edmondson. Good football by York City. Richard Cooper now will have a chance to get the ball away at the second attempt. Into the middle it goes, and that's Philpott who gets the header clear. This is Nick Richardson from 25 yards, just over the top. And the referee saying that it didn't get a touch from Matthew Glennon, just creeping over the ball, but it was Nick Richardson's effort, culminating in a sustained period of York City pressure. Well, the last 5 or 10 minutes certainly will have given Brian Little food for thought, but can City get a second now? Beresford down this left-hand side will go for the byline. Space in front of him to the edge of the area. 6-yard area it goes. And that was Julian Johnson with an effort just wide. But a real Hull City counter-attack after soaking up all kinds of York City pressure for the last 10 minutes. Beresford down that left-hand side, creating all sorts of problems with his pace up against Darren Edmondson. And when the ball came in, Johnson took 2 touches before blasting the ball wide. Now Holt. Johnson's head on. Fielding back to Fettis. Graham Potter forward for the Tigers. Lee Nogan is there. Richardson inside for Bullock. Bullock across now for Cooper. Edmondson's ball forward. It's kept in play. This is Proctor. That's good defending from Andy Holt. Winning himself the throw-in. It's headed on by Johnson. Now Whitmore. Whitmore back to Johnson again. Johnson will keep going down this left-hand side. Will play a ball into the middle. And that was unlucky. It almost found it in its intended target of Gary Alexander. And now Hull City perhaps can keep the ball and put some pressure on York City. Now Beresford to Lee Philpott. Philpott out wide to Andy Holt. Holt is looking for space in the middle. It gets the nod on. Dudfield now play the ball back to Theodore Whitmore. Now Philpott to Andy Holt down this left-hand side. Needs a good cross into the middle. It's deflected, and that's Darren Edmondson taking no chances. And again, Beresford and Philpott making their way over to take the corner kick. Plenty of bodies in the box, as you can see. Alexander there right up against Alan Fettis in the heart of things as the ball comes into the middle. That's going to be Dudfield with the header, causing all sorts of problems, and it nearly fell again for Dudfield as it went just past Alan Fettis's left-hand post. Fettis gets the ball clear then, right on the stroke of half-time. It's Hull City 1, York City 0.
Right, at the moment we've got the half-time penalty shootout. Freeze on the penalty shootout. In the meantime,
so Hull City then to kick off this second half here at Boothray Park after what was a good first half at the office, leading as they do 1-0. The goal scorer Nick Mohan midway through that first half. City, I'm sure, would like more. Now Whitmore combining with Dudfield, looks to take it to the byline. He's going to take it right over and try and shepherd it over, but in the end, ball goes out of play on this near side for a York City throw-in. Taken by Graham Potter. And Dudfield couldn't quite find Theodore Whitmore with that one. All a bit sloppy stuff there. And it goes behind for a York City goal kick. Alan Fettis, former Tigers favourite, retrieves the ball, makes his mark, and will put the ball down to restart the game. Free kick for York. John Fielding will take it for the Minster men. Forward it goes then. Justin Whittles underneath this one for Hull City. Seemed to push his man out of the way there. Referee not thinking so. That's Mike Edwards with the ball forward. Fielding heading the ball to himself, and now Whitmore looking to attack the York City defence, taking the ball inside onto his left foot. Sensibly playing the ball to Andy Holt. Andy Holt has Beresford in support now in possession. Beresford with a good ball into the middle that will get a deflection for a Hull City corner kick. Now plenty of Hull City players forward. Beresford places the corner. Philpott giving him an option short, but plenty of players in the box as you would expect. Ball comes in. Mohan's underneath this one, and that's a good take by the former Northern Ireland international goalkeeper. Mohan, who got himself back quickly to make that header, falls for Basham. Basham out wide to Richard Cooper. Can't get there. And Hull City have the throw-in. Johnson with the head on. Mohan with the head back. And this is Fielding. Seemed to be in two minds for a moment about what he wanted to do there. In the end, it worked. And that's good play down here on this left-hand side. This is Chris Brass. Now Nogan. Nogan opening up for the shot. Good effort by Lee Nogan. Comfortable save in the end, though, by Matthew Glennon. But it's another warning that it is just a one-goal lead at this stage for the Tigers. City need more. Good touch by Alexander. And now Beresford. Alexander makes his way into the box. Beresford will look to pick him out now, but instead comes short for Philpott. Philpott on his left foot, and the shot's blocked. Now Richard Cooper, the game very open, as was the first half here at Boothray Park. And just as the first goal was crucial, the second one, you feel, could be decisive. Now Andy Holt with the long throw in. It's a free kick to Hull City, which Beresford is looking to take quickly. And his opposite number on that far side, Richard Cooper, wouldn't let him in the end. Could well be Andy Holt who will play it to Beresford. Beresford down the line looking for Alexander. This is Dudfield. Dudfield looking to try and get the ball into the middle. Edwards is under pressure, releases Whitmore. Whitmore looking for a black and amber shirt. Now Beresford shows him support on the left hand side. Plenty of bodies in the box now for Hull City. Beresford, which way will he go? He's showing the ball left and then right. Lovely chip to the back post, and it was Alexander's header. May well have been better leaving that one for Johnson, who was in space behind him. In the end, Fetis had the easy job of just plucking the ball out of the air. That's Philpott just lunging to just divert the path of the ball into Andy Holt, who picks the ball up now from Beresford again. Beresford inside to Philpott. Philpott just crowded out of that one in the midfield, really. And Nogan through for Proctor. Proctor may well get here first, and Glennon does well to fight for that one at the feet of the advancing Michael Proctor. Just for a second found himself in space there, Michael Proctor. And for a second it looked like he was going to be favourite to get that one. Good goalkeeping from Matthew Glennon. Now Dudfield almost got there first at the other end. Brave goalkeeping from both sets of goalkeepers. Beresford forward. This is Edwards out wide for Theodore Whitmore, who's playing more wide on the right hand side. He's swapped at half time with Dudfield, and you think that that could be a swap that could be repeated in reversed throughout this second half. As City trying to unlock the York City defence once more. Glennon with the free kick. Long ranging one that won't find Julian Johnson. It goes behind for a York City goal kick. Another crowd of around 10,000 here at Boothroyd Park this afternoon, going to show the heightened expectation which exists around Boothroyd Park for this season. And you do feel that with these big crowds here getting to Boothroyd Park, they are demanding wins. And the more momentum that Hull City can build, the more the crowds will come, the more money will come in, and the more successful the club can be. It really is an ongoing spiral. The City look for the second now, and that's Fetis coming to claim for York. Now York City on the attack again. Bullock was looking for the run of Proctor, was well intercepted by the Tigers' defence, and free kick now given. That was Basham on Beresford. And City seem to be taking their time now. fairly comfortable lead, but of course it is just that one goal as Andy Holt prepares to take this free kick. To the edge of the area it goes. Alexander gets the nod on. Now breaks first for Johnson and now for Dudfield. Dudfield crowded out of terms of possession there in the end by 3 or 4 York City bodies. And that's Richard Cooper who gets Proctor away now. Justin Whittle coming over to tidy up. Mohan's under pressure from Nogan. City playing the way out of trouble here when perhaps a traditional good old boot upfield would have been more advised. In the end, a late challenge came in on Justin Whittle and Hull City have a free kick. Goalkeeper comes out and takes the free kick then. It's high into the Boothby Park skyline. That's well taken by Mike Edwards. Mike Edwards, perhaps a chance for a shot from Edwards. Left foot, never get hold of it. He curses himself as he turns away. But good run forward there from Mike Edwards. Hull born and bred. And a real player was showing plenty of potential. That's an obvious push in the back from Mohan, quite unnecessary, giving York a free kick just inside the Hull City half. This is Darren Edmondson for York City with the free kick. To the edge of the area it goes. Edwards gets the clearance in. This is something for Dudfield to be able to chase. Goes out for a Hull City throw. Whitmore sprints his way over to take it for the Tigers, now looks for options. Edwards, the fullback, helps him out. Poor ball from Edwards, but he gets the break of the ball again. Edwards still going on. Johnson with a header forward. And the ball going to go behind. Now Lee Bullock playing the ball out wide to Richard Cooper for York City. Good challenge by Andy Holt on that far side. And Lee Philpott and Andy Holt completing the clearance. And now Beresford's going to run down this line. Mike Basham puts it over the top of the east stand. Andy Holt with a long throw into the middle. It's Basham with the clearance. Falls though for Dudfield. Dudfield with a ball into the middle. And now Alexander couldn't quite turn and shoot, but its shot was blocked. Dudfield again. Try and get the ball across. It deflects off a York City player for a Hull City corner kick. Tigers well on top in this match, but they need a second goal, you would feel. There's a problem for a fairly long time now, scoring goals for Hull City. It'll be a good habit to lose in this second half as the ball comes in. That's away by John Fielding. Not very convincingly cleared though. This is Mohan. Back to Theodore Whitmore. Whitmore's cross is blocked. Now Edwards under pressure. Just helping it on to Andy Holt. Holt can't head it into the path of a black and amber shirt. And now Richard Cooper down that right hand side. But Andy Holt does well, playing the ball forward. And Dudfield just forcing the error from Darren Edmondson there. Again, Dudfield goes down this byline, just keeps possession of the ball. Continues, does Dudfield, does well. Beresford will take over though now. Plenty of bodies in the box as well. Beresford's cross comes in, it's a poor one. And that's easy for Alan Fettis. Now Whitmore. Forward now for Dudfield again. Whitmore goes again. Whitmore straight through the middle here. Real chance for Theodore Whitmore for 2-0. Got to be a penalty kick. And is. No doubt about it. Darren Edmondson with the foul on Theodore Whitmore. A wonderful move which cut the York City defence in two. The York City players don't like it at all, but this surely has got to be a sending off as well. Theodore Whitmore was clean through. And, well, surely it's got to be a sending off as well. It was clean through. The penalty kick has been given. And everyone here at Boothroyd Park seems to be wondering why a red card hasn't been given. The York City players are looking around, and Dudfield will take the penalty. That's 2-0. The game surely is won as far as Hull City are concerned. But why oh why was a red card not given? So Dudfield makes it 2-0 for Hull City after Theodore Whitmore was brought down. In the meantime, York City making substitution. Now City looking for a third. A good, convincing win looks on the cards now for Hull City. Now throw in goes in. Alexander and Dudfield combining well. Dudfield with the cross. And it can't keep in play. Well, the last home game here at Boothroyd Park saw Justin Whittle get sent off for a similar incident to the one which led to the goal there. It was a lunging challenge from Justin Whittle as a Kidderminster Harriers player was through on goal. And Theodore Whitmore found himself in exactly the same position there and was brought down by Darren Edmondson. And why, oh why, the referee, after having given the penalty, didn't produce a red card, only he will know. As it matters, Hull City will be wanting and valuing the 2-goal lead even more after half-hearted appeals for a penalty kick against Lee Nogan there for York. It looks like all 3 points will be going the way of Hull City here. And a win that theoretically could take them up to second place in the table. And of course, Hull City having a game advantage on virtually every other side around them. So Mike Edwards will take a throw in here for Hull City on this right hand side. Ball goes down the byline and Hull City Still piling on the pressure here. They are looking for a third, and it'll be no more than they deserve as well. Throw-in comes in, comes back for Edwards. Edwards into the middle. It's all over the place in the middle of the penalty area, and a free kick in the end is given. Now Philpott, and this is Nogan for York City. Justin Whittle forcing him wide, defending well and putting the ball behind. Well, York City have only rarely threatened the Hull City goal in patches, and really, even when they have had chances like that, they haven't been able to do anything about it as the ball comes in from the corner kick. Goes straight through past everyone, and the clearance now comes, but it comes only as far as Neville Stamp. Theodore Whitmore plays it down the line. Edmondson, who shouldn't really be on the pitch, back to Alan Fettit, just making a bit of a hash of his clearance. Gets it back to Edmondson, plays it forward for Stamp. Now, Edwards with the ball forward. Dudfield left it for Alexander. Luckily for York City, Mike Basham read that one. Mike Edwards just waiting to take this throw-in on this near side. Matthew Glennon putting that one out. Now Stamp. Now Andy Holt down the line for Beresford. Edmondson is there. Beresford almost got the better of Darren Edmondson there. In the end, all Edmondson could do was put it out of play, and Andy Holt will have this throw-in. Now Whitmore, back for Philpott, plays it across, and Edwards just playing the ball forward, a poor ball forward from Edwards. It goes back, and now Johnson with a good directed header to Gary Alexander. He was put under pressure there in the end, losing the physical battle there against Darren Edmondson. But this is Chris Brass, and now Edmondson again. Mike Basham just controlling this one, playing the ball forward. It's Lee Bullock to Edmondson. That's easily won back by Hull City, and casually given away again. Forward it goes for York, and this is Chris Brass again. York looking desperately for a way to get back into this game as the ball comes into the middle. Nogan is there, and that's a good save by Matthew Glennon. Nogan found himself in acres of space on that far post. City going to sleep at the back just for a second. Matthew Glennon getting his defensive teammates out of jail, but it's still a York City corner kick. Cross comes in to the far post. A free header there, and again Matthew Glennon with another wonderful save. The header came in from John Fielding, and that was a one-handed tip over the top from Matthew Glennon to keep Hull City's 2-goal lead intact. City need to concentrate. More defending to do. Plenty of bodies forward for York City, plenty of bodies back defending for Hull City as this corner kick comes into the middle. A push in the back surely and a header over the top. In the end, City can breathe again. It was Fielding again who got the header in. Everyone just paused for breath as that one flashed over the top of Matthew Glennon's crossbar, and it's another let-off for Hull City, but the 2-goal lead is still intact. Well, it's been no more than Hull City deserve. Certainly comfortably the better side in this match, but it could also easily have gone to pot there if Hull City had conceded a goal. Now Richard Cooper back to Edmondson. York enjoying their best period of this second half. Back for Richard Cooper. Andy Holt doing some defending, getting the better of Edmondson. Still in possession is Andy Holt, the linesman's flagging. And there's a bit of nonsense afterwards. The referee just separating the respective players. Now, Mohan, who's playing now as more as a midfield player, really. And this is Stamp. Fielding back to Alan Fettis, who didn't look comfortable with that. And Hull City again can bring the ball forward. That was Whitmore's looking to find Beresford, it won't get there. And Richard Cooper can bring the ball away for York City on that far side now. It's intercepted though by Andy Holt. And now Dudfield in space on that left-hand side. Chance for Dudfield to run at the defence. There's players in support. If he just looks up, still Dudfield, back it comes. Surely the third will come now. Johnson! There it is, 3-0. Gary Alexander with the third goal. City's win, well and truly complete. Wonderful play on that left-hand side by Laurie Dudfield. He held on, he played it back to Gary Alexander. He took it inside and finished it off. And it's now Hull City 3, York City 0. Well, if ever we felt that York City were going to get a foothold back into this game, the thoughts of that well and truly dispelled now. A really emphatic win now here at Boothrid Park in this Yorkshire derby. It's Hull City 3, York City 0. And Alexander, the goal scorer, again, as Hull City look for a fourth. There's still plenty of time left as well for Hull City to get that fourth. This is Edwards with the throw-in inside. Whitmore just plays the ball inside. York City's heads have gone down now. Really emphatic win. Hull City having a free kick for a push in the back now. The referee playing the advantage for a spell. Darren Edmondson, the man, again, who was lucky to be on the field, really. Conceding the free kick and having a word with the referee, Edmondson. It gives Hull City a free kick. Round 30 yards from goal. It's going to take a blistering effort if this is to beat Alan Fettis from this kind of range, but Beresford places the ball. Andy Holt also fancies this one, and Lee Philpott is also around this ball. Whistle's blown, the referee eager for it to be taken quickly. Andy Holt it is, straight into the wall, and the ball bounces clear. Now Beresford inside for Theodore Whitmore. Whitmore down the line, cross comes into the middle, that's Fettis, and he was under pressure from Gary Alexander. Now Philpott loses out in the midfield. That's a good strong challenge that's come in. Now York can build again. Potter down the line, there's no one there. York City's game really has gone to pieces now. Now Philpott again winning the ball well in midfield, but Bullock getting it back for York. His ball forward couldn't find the run of Proctor, and now Hull City just resting on the laurels. Justin Whittle have to put in a couple of strong challenges. That was a shot that came in from Richard Cooper. Richard Cooper again will pick up this ball, and out wide it goes. This is Proctor, and that goes out of play. He kicks the advertising hoarding in disgust on that far side, and it'll be a Hull City goal kick. In the meanwhile, there will be a substitution. Richard Cooper is going to be off, and it's going to be Michael Evans to come on in his place. Glennon then takes the goal kick. That's Basham with the header. And this is Johnson. Nogan. Basham's clearance is blocked, and now Dudfield over the top, and it just catches Gary Alexander in an offside position. He just been able to release that early, then Alexander would have been on for his second and Hull City's fourth. In the meantime, free kick is taken for York. Nogan with a head on. This is Graham Potter now. He'll try and get this one back. It's a poor ball back by Graham Potter, and Hull City will have a goal kick. Header on by Johnson, almost getting the run of Alexander. And you just feel Hull City toying with this York City side now, waiting patiently, and you wouldn't bet against the fourth goal coming in. Nogan now holding on to this one. Header into the middle, it almost falls for Lee Bullock. The ball and the clearance comes in, and now Johnson will pick up this ball in the midfield. He'll release Beresford on the left hand side. He brings the ball into the middle again, and Johnson again for Whitmore. Just seem to almost have lost the momentum here, but they're still keeping possession well in the shape of Lee Philpott. Andy Holt makes the run outside. Inside it comes, a delicate little chip that didn't really come off for Andy Holt, and that's a late challenge, a frustrating challenge, unnecessary challenge, and it's going to get Andy Holt a talking to from the referee. In the meantime, there will be a double substitution now from Brian Little. It's going to be Ben Petty and David Lee. So David Lee replaces Gary Alexander. Ben Petty comes on, and it is Julian Johnson who makes way.
Number 29, Ben Petty, replacing number 15, Julian Johnson.
So, Brian Little taking the time, it seems with a comfortable 3 points in the bag, to have a look at two of his new acquisitions in the shape of Ben Petty and David Lee, and it's a nice position to be in when you're 3-0 up. In the meantime, the way we'll have to do some defending. This is Proctor, and that's Edwards with a good ball in, and now Beresford on the left-hand side again. There's plenty of bodies in the box now. Beresford still going on. Beresford will take the shot himself. It will fall now to the new man, Ben Petty. Beresford again. Beresford will chip the ball in, and it was agonisingly close to David Lee, whose first touch could have been to have scored that goal there. As the clearance is made by York. Glennon with the clearance then. It's headed back by Basham. Now Darren Edmondson. Justin Whittle will pick this one up. That's Ben Petty who loses out. Justin Whittle helps his new colleague out of trouble. And Ben Petty again gets possession. It's Philpott to Edwards. Every press now greeted with a cheer. Comes back inside to Lee Philpott. Philpott spreading the ball out wide well to Beresford. Beresford now with a chance to run. He's got two players on him, but Beresford feels he has the running of Darren Edmondson. But that time, the right back for York got the better of Beresford. York bringing the ball away, and it goes clean through. Real chance now for Bullock. There's Proctor in the middle, and that chance just says everything about York City's afternoon. Bullock found himself clean through there. Proctor had the goal at his mercy in the middle, and what a wasted chance that was for York City to add some respectability to this scoreline. Goal kick comes in then. York desperately looking for some kind of consolation, and you wouldn't begrudge them one goal. Bullock again tries to do something, and again Bullock and Proctor combine to give the ball away. Comes back now for Brass. Brass into the middle. Whittle with a half clearance finds Theodore Whitmore, and the ball goes out of play. Now Graham Potter into the middle. Whittle with a clearing header. Stampnam with the throw-in. Goes to the byline. And it goes over that line for a goal kick. Petty with a header. Petty fouling Bullock, according to the referee. And the game now slowly petering out, it seems. Can York City get a goal? This is Brass, 25 yards from goal. Out wide it comes for Stamp. Stamp down the line to Graham Potter. Potter was ball in the middle, and Matthew Glennon just dived out, was nowhere near that one. It didn't matter because the header came in and it went over the top of his goal. And the Hull City fans over in the East Stand singing "Can We Play You Every Week" really sums up York City's performance this afternoon. Hull City winning very, very comfortably without really playing particularly well. York City, you feel, will struggle as Hull City do go looking for that fourth. Theodore Whitmore back for Philpott, for Mike Edwards. Whitmore again, Hull City keeping possession, and just the ball going out of play. Now Proctor, now can York get some respectability? No, good work from Andy Holt and Nick Mohan there with a combined block. Will mean a corner kick though. Nogan has raced over that far side to take it for York City and will leave it in the end for Graham Potter. Plenty of bodies forward for York City as they look for a consolation goal now as the cross comes in. And it's headed away by Theodore Whitmore ahead of Matthew Glennon. Now Michael Evans for York City. Straight through the middle it goes. This is Bullock trying to find Nogan. The ball not yet cleared, and it's getting a bit scrappy now in the final few minutes as far as Hull City are concerned. Goes out for a York City throw-in. And not a lot of options around. This is Michael Evans back to the thrower as the cross comes in. Mike Edwards clearing the ball, and Andy Holt heading the ball well clear of goal. Brass down the line for Nogan. Nogan holds the ball up and gets it back to Brass. 25 yards from goal, Philpott holding him off. Good ball from Brass to Nogan again. Nogan with a chance to get the ball into the middle now. Across it goes, a good cross as well. And Hull City struggling to get the ball clear, and that's a wonderful effort, and what a save that is. It was Neville Stamp whose shot was skidding and for all the world looked like it was going in that far corner. A wonderful reflex reaction save by Matthew Glennon, diving to his left-hand side. He doesn't want to concede a goal, and the way it's going, he's not going to, because that was another wonderful save from Glennon, and again from the corner kick. Well, he's made two very, very important saves early on in this match with the score at 2-0 that kept the two-goal lead intact. And there he's pulled off a wonderful reaction left-handed save to keep his clean sheet at the end of this second half. Fantastic stuff from Matthew Glennon at the end of the match here. But can Hull City get a fourth in the meantime? Beresford down the line for Dudfield. That's Mike Basham. He's up against, and in the end, it looks at this stage that both sides are settling for the result as it is. Hull City not committing too many bodies forward with the game won at 3-0. York, though, perhaps might fancy a goal. This is Proctor. And the run as it came in, the connection came from Chris Brass. And you feel any kind of better connection on that, and Matthew Glennon might have been in trouble. In the meantime, that's Mike Basham with a header out. This is Philpott inside for Petty, back to Philpott. Now for David Lee, back for Petty. Now can Petty get on the score sheet? Petty off the post, and Whitmore with an unbelievable miss. Well, Ben Petty hitting the post. It came to Whitmore, left-footed, with the goal at his mercy. And everyone, I'm sure, here at Boothroyd Park thought that was going to be four. Well, what a chance that was for Theodore Whitmore. I don't think he can quite believe it himself. Still perhaps suffering from jet lag after being on international duty with Jamaica in midweek. Well, that would have been a nice icing on the cake, 4-0 in the final minutes here at Boothby Park. Here is Whitmore again. Now Petty inside, and now Mohan. City just keeping possession. Andy Holt. That was David Lee. Back to Nick Mohan. Again wide now for Beresford. Beresford inside for David Lee again, who's turned inside well. David Lee spreading the ball nicely out wide to Theodore Whitmore now, who's trying to redeem himself, I'm sure, for that miss. Whitmore, still Whitmore, and again! What a chance that was, and again! That was Lee Philpott in the end who hit the ball over. But really, Hull City playing some wonderful football at the end of this match, and really the fourth goal would have been no more than they deserved. But that was Lee Philpott just blasting over moments after Theodore Whitmore had done likewise, with a really golden chance after Hull City had hit the post. But it's a really good way to give this near 10,000 crowd a nice send-off here at Boothby Park. Well, perhaps they will get a fourth. York City still having to do some defending. They'll have a throw-in down here. Mike Edwards will take responsibility for Hull City. Now, this is Dudfield from there, looking, and will not get the corner kick. Instead, Alan Fettis will take the resulting goal kick. This is Basham. Forward it goes for Darren Edmondson. Inside for Michael Evans. But he doesn't have much support around him. Ball comes out for Stamp. Back inside for Fielding. Fielding with a long, optimistic ball that's not within 10 yards of a York City player. And the ball in the end coming out of play from Ben Petty for a York City throw-in. Stamp takes it. Edwards will take it forward. Now David Lee. Now Ben Petty will take things on. Dudfield inside, and this is nice football down this right-hand side. Whitmore couldn't quite take that forward. York City bringing the ball forward with Graham Potter. Now Whittle. Petty lays it off for Philpott, inside for Theodore Whitmore. Now chance for Theodore Whitmore to have a run at this defence. This is David Lee for Beresford. Beresford looking for space, he's looking to twist and turn. Plenty of City players in the box again. Chance again to get the ball across. Real chance for Whitmore. Over the top from Theodore Whitmore from 8 yards out. It's like a shooting gallery now for Hull City. York City's defence falling apart, and you really wonder when or if a fourth goal's going to come. A really convincing 3-0 scoreline in the last few minutes now. And every time City are in position, a chance is coming. At the moment, it's just not being put away by the Tigers. City again moving forward. This is David Lee. But Neville Stamp here will clear for York. Only gives it away to Edwards though. York City really have defended very, very poorly, and are just giving Hull City the opportunity to take forward at every chance they get possession. This is Dudfield. Dudfield still going and will have the free kick. Now this could be interesting. 20 yards from goal. Definite shooting opportunity. Andy Holt fancies his chances, so too does Theodore Whitmore. David Lee's also around this one. And Lee Philpott all making their voices heard. The referee will make sure that the wall goes back its full amount. but it looks like Andy Holt will be favourite for this one. In fact, it comes in and it's there! Wonderful, wonderful free kick to cap off a fantastic afternoon for Hull City. Holt left it, and in the end, David Lee with a cracking free kick from 25 yards has given Hull City the 4-0 win, and it's no more than Hull City deserve. A completely comprehensive win here. 4-0 for Hull City, a free kick capping things off in the finest way possible. And really, it could have been 5 or 6 this afternoon. Well, perhaps there will be time for a 5th goal. Fettis just getting there first. York City falling apart. And that's a good ball in. And there is the final whistle. A thoroughly comprehensive win for Hull City. The goals in the first half, Nicky Mohan. Then in the second, Dudfield with a penalty. Gary Alexander made it 3. And David Lee with a wonderful free kick in the final minute. Hull City 4, York City 0.